Are we going to be sharing the document on the screen this evening? Which good. Be nice.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, I will begin. City of New Haven meeting agenda, the Joint Community Development, Health and Human Services Committee, Thursday, May 27, 2021 at 6:11 p.m.
Walters, Al Lucas.
Please click the URL to join, which is listed on the public notice, and we can hear Mr.
Yep.
Al Lucas.
I will resend it to you.
Or for the audio only, dial 301-715-8592 or
Right.
312. We can hear you, Mr. Lucas.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair, Mr. Lucas, can you please
later.
Mr. Lucas?
mute yourself?
Today.
I don't think he can hear us. Mr. Lucas?
Yeah.
Mr. Lucas? Mr. Lucas? Mr. Lucas?
1240.
You are on YouTube, Mr. Lucas? Let me go get him. Let's make some noise just in case.
Okay, perfect.
Mr. Lucas?
Join from my cloud. Yeah,
Mr.
join our
Lucas?
cloud HD.
Mr. Lucas?
Yep.
We can hear you.
Okay, no problem.
He said no problem.
No problem.
So don't want the wrong thing to be said there for the World Wide Web. Yes, we are live, by the way. Okay, please click the URL to join, which is on the public notice. Or for audio only, dial 301-715-8592 or 312-626-6799 or enter the web ID 952-4209-3918 with the special audio only password, which is also listed on the public notice. The Joint Community Development and Human Services Committee of New Haven Board of Alders will meet at this date and time. You may follow online by going to the Board of Alders YouTube page and or following on our audio options that I've just named. Tonight, we will hear and have deliberations on legislative matter 2021-0170, order of the Board of Alders in New Haven, approving the City of New Haven's 2021-22 annual action plan statement of activities and use of community development block grant, home investment partnership, housing opportunities for persons with AIDS, and emergency solutions grant funds to be submitted to the Department of Housing and Urban Development for federal financial aid. Assistance for planning and community development assistance under provisions of Title I Housing and Community Development Act of 1974 as amended. The Cranston-Gonzalez National Affordable Housing Act of 1990 as amended. The McKinney-Veneto Homeless Assistance Act of 2000 as the Transition of Housing Act of 2009, the AIDS Housing Opportunity Act, hereafter referred to as Housing and Community Development Program Acts, and for activities to be funded by the program income and or reprogramming funds from prior grants years, per the Honorable Brian Wingate and the Honorable Darrell J. Brackeen Jr., co-chairs attest. Honorable Michael Smart, City Town Clerk. For accessibility related accommodations, please call 203-946-7651 voice or 203-946-8582 prior to the meeting. Co-chair is here. Good evening. I guess we'll begin the deliberations. I guess we should announce everyone who is here for the record. I'll go in order that I see you on my screen. Co-chair Wingate.
Brian Wingate, Ward 29, Beaver Hills, co-chair, chair of the community block grant.
Vice Chair Douglas.
Alder Frank Douglas, Ward 2, Vice Chair, Community Development.
Alder Clyburn.
Alder Clyburn, Ward 20.
Alder DeCola is here because we can see him. Alder, who's next in the lineup? Alder DeCola, yep.
Alder Sal DeCola, Ward 18, CD.
And it's a debate between the new people who was first. It's either Winter or Kupo. It's Winter. Alder Winter.
Alder Steve Winter, Ward 21, Health and Human Services.
Alder Kupo.
Alder Ellen Cupo, Ward 8, Community Development and Health and Human Services.
Alder Rodriguez.
Alder Carmen Rodriguez, Ward 6, Community Development.
And Alder Saban.
Alder Eli Saban, Ward 1, Health and Human Services.
Okay.
So thank you all. Thank you for all your amendments, or less thereof. Thank you for all that you've been doing in this process. My apologies for being late. We got some last minute things that's going on here. But once again, we want to thank the committee for putting all the pieces together. And the committee amendments are we move from hardware, $11,197 in additional funds to hardware. Then in the hardware, we took from LCI enforcement and to bring the towers to $35,000. We took funds from the LCI enforcement and the federal increase in bring our kids to $40,131, neighborhood housing to $40,131, brutal land to $50,131. We took funds from the federal increase to bring Circle to $31,000. Cornell Scott Hill Center to 20,000, Continuum of Care to 214,000. Those was the hardware amendments. Now we're going over to the software amendments. New Haven Reads got $24,199 from the federal increase. We increased Inspired Communities by $4,199 from the federal increase. Inspired Communities Youth, we increased to $15,000 by decreasing Clifford Bears $5,000. So that's the amendments in totality what we are doing tonight. And I will pass it back to my co-chair.
Any questions, comments, or clarity needed?
So,
Mr. Chair, I have a question.
Mr. Vice Chair.
I'm sorry. So what was if you can give me the total of what was taken from Livable City Initiative, please?
100,000.
From 100,000 from what did they get? What did they have originally? 200,000?
No, can I, through the chair, okay. So Alder Frank Douglas, what we did was we took 100,000 from the enforcement from LCI, right? And they had a large sum of money in the package. What we did was we took 100,000 out. The amendment was asked for 130, but we only took 100,000 out of the large amount of money that they had.
30. Okay.
Right. So but in the 11th hour, they reached out and said that there was for potential positions. So before we vote on this process on June 7th, we asked them to find some money for them in this process is $100,000, right? I just got a phone call at 5:57, right? And this amendment went out like 11:30, 12 o'clock today. So that's where we stand. I hope I answered your question. But we took that money and just like I said, we moved it around.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you both, Mr. Chairs. Thank you both.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair.
Yeah.
I just wanted to acknowledge, I see our board president is here. I don't know if she wanted to be promoted to the screen. So I'll just wait for some indication on that before we proceed. Okay, seeing none. Any further questions or comments? Alder Winter.
Thank you, Chair Brackeen. I just wanted to clarify, it sounded like there was an increase in the CDBG, the total CDBG, and that's part of what we're able to do is spread that around to some of the priorities that weren't funded in the mayor's proposal.
That is correct. And actually, if you give me 30 seconds, I will grab those numbers and I'll let you all know what that increase was.
Yes. Thank you, Alder Winter, for pointing that out.
Okay. Sorry about that. I'm sure you all heard me breathing. That was great. So the total increase was $55,989 total. The public service amount was $8,398. The administrative was $11,197. And hardware was $36,394.
Thanks for clarifying that, Mr. Chair.
No problem. And actually that saved us having to decrease any organization's bottom line, as was suggested in the amendments.
So thank you, Chair. Yeah, so once again, as always, this always is a hard process. As you know, hardware is easy to filter with hardware, right? It's easy to take money from hardware to hardware. Software is the programming part of this situation. So it's always harder and to deliberate on how we're going to, take money to, try to service everyone. But every year we do our things with our heart and minds to try to move these things forward. And I urge colleagues to go out and see some of these entities that we have served in giving monies to see are they doing the work that they're saying that they do. So once again, I wait to our Madam President get on if she chooses to say something or not, or raise her hand. But if I give her a couple of seconds if she want to jump in to say anything. But as I wait for that, it's always, I'll be honest with y'all, always a pleasure working with this team. I really appreciate y'all. doing your due diligence. I always, okay. So she raised her hand.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to say thank you to the committee for all your hard work and dedication. This process is really important to the work that has to be done in the city. So thank you again. I'm glad to see that you guys were able to work together and come up with this amendment. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Anytime I get the chance to work with Brakeem, Alder Brakeem is like, peanut butter and jelly. You know what I'm saying? It's okay, right? It works. You know what I'm saying? I just want to say thank you to the committee and the co-chairs of the committee. Thank you so much for Uncle Frank, Alder Frank pushing me to do this. So if there's no more, I'll let you take it away.
Okay, well, I guess I'll give a round of opportunity for folks to give closing remarks on the record, if there are any. Alder Douglas.
Yeah, I just want to rise to say that it really has been a pleasure working with you gentlemen and you ladies on this process. This is a process that is very dear to each and every one of us, I'm sure. And not being the chair anymore, and sitting back and watching you guys navigate through this, it makes me feel proud, makes me feel good. And I want to thank you again and just keep up the good work. And I'm sure that these entities that you have provided funds for are clapping their hands and stomping their feet. I think they're all going to be satisfied with the outcome. So thank you very much. Thank you to the whole committee and to the Board of Alders also for trusting us to fulfill this process. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairs.
Thank you. Third Officer DeCola.
Thank you to the co-chairs. I just want to say that and with leadership, we were very pleased and honored that you group worked so well for the benefit of the children and families of New Haven, that I am very proud to be part of your group and part of the positive impact we will have in New Haven. So thank you and keep up the good work and enjoy your evening. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairs.
Thank you, sir.
I'd like to acknowledge my vice chair of the Health and Human Services Committee, Alder Ron Hurt, who has joined us.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Would you happen to have any closing remarks for this process?
First, I do want to apologize for being late to both chairs. I was actually on earlier and then realized I was too early. So forgive me. But this process has been a great experience. I've enjoyed working, and but I enjoy working with both chairs of the committee, both men of integrity, and I've learned so much in this joint committee. Every last one of the alders are phenomenal. I enjoy every one of them, and I'm learning so much, and I've learned so much, and I look forward to seeing what next year is going to bring us. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes, Chair.
Oh, Alder Clyburn.
Yes, I would like to say also thank you to you and also Alder Brian Wingate, the two chairs, and for what you do. I was just thinking to myself that I know this was done with great thought and integrity and love for the community. I appreciate both of you so much. and also to the vice chairs as well. So I'm just saying thank you because I know your hearts were in this. And
Thank you.
And I'm learning to just keep personal things to myself. But thank you.
Thank you. So seeing no more, we entertain a motion.
Amen. I make the motion. that we-
Just a point of order there. Do we do we need to accept make
The
a
amendments.
motion and actually move it forward?
Yes.
Okay. The chair will entertain that type of motion if anyone would do the honors.
I move the amendment.
Second.
Hearing it moved in second, discussion. Hearing and seeing no discussion, I'll take the time just to say at this point, it's been a great honor being a part of this process for the last 7.5 years, and transitioning with Alder Douglas and following his model into the future of CDBG process. Working with Alder Wingate has been a pleasure and an honor. And indeed, members of this committee, this is a high integrity committee, one that you all really did your work. We had a lot of changes this year in terms of staffing and that type of support. So I want to actually give a shout out to Mr. Lucas for helping us, Mr. Ron Gizzi and Allison for all of their hard work and really leaning in, providing us with all the great information that we needed in order to be informed during this process. I also take this moment as a small announcement that this joint committee should again be prepared, because there's a lot of federal funding coming through, and little birdies are out there saying that this committee might need to convene again in June. So just be prepared for that. Your attendance will be necessary and needed. Okay, any other discussion on this amendment? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Any abstentions? Seeing none, the motion carries. Mr. Co-Chair.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All the things that you said, I echo, and I'm not going to belabor it tonight. You know what it is. To the team, thank you so much. To the city team, thank you so much. I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Hearing it moving second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions.
Roll call.
Oh God. I think we legally have to now.
Roll call.
Good night.
Good night.
Have a good one.
Good night.
Bless you all.
Bless you all.
Thank you.
Good
All
night.
right.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair.
Now get to that beach there, all the bracking.
Oh yeah, you know it.
You better hurry.